Attorney announcing she is dismissing the case brought against a state lawmaker from Blue Hill accused of attempting to influence an election.
Democratic Representative Nina Milliken was charged last month with illegal electioneering. That's when a candidate for office attempts to influence voters too close to the polling location.
District Attorney Natasha Irving announcing Thursday evidence in the original report from the Hancock County Sheriff's Office included witnesses who did not hear Milliken make unlawful statements and 3 witnesses who indicated the legislators' statements did violate the law.
Now, in Maine, illegal electioneering is defined by displaying campaign materials within 250 feet of a voting place on Election Day or during absentee voting. A Stetson man has been charged with arson for a fire at a downtown Bangor apartment building last December.
According to court records, 43-year-old James Emerson was caught on camera entering the building and going to the 4th floor around the time of the fire, despite having been evicted at the end of November.
Court records say investigators found the door frame to the 4th floor apartment had been broken in and a backpack had been placed on top of the stove with the burner turned on. Smoke
detectors in the apartment had reportedly been covered with plastic bags, which delayed the fire alarm system. Emerson was being held at the Penobscot County Jail on unrelated charges at the time. Court records state he admitted to being in the building on the day of the fire, but denied being on the 4th floor.
Emerson appeared in court last month and is facing multiple charges, including arson, aggravated criminal mischief, failure to control or report a dangerous fire, and burglary. He's being held at the Mountain View Correctional Facility on $10,000 bail. Water damage from the fire impacted about a dozen apartments and destroyed the Salty Brick Market on the 1st floor.
Hundreds of people will pack the Bangor waterfront tomorrow to join in the fight against Alzheimer's.
The Eastern Maine Walk to End Alzheimer's will begin Saturday morning with an opening ceremony at 10, followed by the walk at 10:30. This event raises awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research.
This year's event aims to raise $84,000. Now, this money will help families right here in Maine impacted by Alzheimer's. For caregivers and families out there dealing with the disease, organizers want you to know you're not alone.
Having the ability to come together and talk about the challenges, the stresses, and the care that they provide their families in the home setting is important to share.
Come join the fun, because it is fun, it is moving, and you just realize that there are hundreds of people around you in the Bangor area who are going through what you're going through. And that's a huge, huge amount of support to realize the morning of.